the God King of Athaloran made his rounds through the hunting camp, checking ammunition stores, weapon and armor readiness, and ration levels, all the while listening impatiently to the countless reports being brought in by his scouts and other messengers from the forest. His hunt had been meeting with resounding success, slaughtering the Bretonnians, invading beastmen, and assisting Durthu with the removal of the pesky mountain dwellers in Grimhold. But all was not well in the forest. A marauding band of Bretonnians from Paravon had been rampaging through the smaller villages in Athaloran, slaying all in their path, and stealing riches from our proud people. Elsewhere, a creeping blight had been also working slowly through the very land and forest itself. All caught in the mysterious path had disappeared, and nothing lived in its wake. Orion would need to investigate personally, as many elite glade captains had already vanished, and he would risk no more lives. A bruised and exhausted messenger had arrived earlier in the day. He had brought word of the fall of the bowmen of Orion. Manfred von Karstein had overwhelmed their small hunting camp with a tidal wave of undeath. There was finally the small matter of the broken-nosed greenskins to eradicate. God King had much to do. He was tired of waiting around. And welcome on in, everyone, to part 2 of the Wild Hunt. Thank you all so much for all the support on the first episode there. We had a huge grip of viewership. Glad to see it. And the Council of Elders decided we wanted to recruit on in some more Glade Captains. We now have Dulas here, which
How can I assist you?
has the unique trait of Ariel's Chosen, so is going to have extra magical power reserve when increasing, so that'll be great when we actually have some spellcasters. And then everyone in our army will have 8 extra melee attack when in forest battles, which will be great for defending against those armies of Paravon that are encroaching on our territory. An awesome looking model as well. We'll have all sorts of good buffs for the individual units. They're very supportive units, but they're also very good in battle as well. They'll end up being able to ride a great stag, which is by far my favorite mount for the Wood Elves, even more than the Forest Dragon. We have our other Toltherin here, who is a Talon of Kurnos. They'll have extra range and a missile strength of 25%. Their arrows are going to hurt quite badly, and they'll be able to shoot them from further away. Similar looking model there. Also going to be an awesome addition to our army. We'll probably put them both in Ikiran's force for now while we're facing off with Cassian. And then we'll bring them into Orion, at least one of them into Orion's, probably Ariel's Chosen. So that they can hang out with Ariel once we do add her into Orion's army as well. When we complete our first ritual of cleansing here at the Oak of Ages, which she'll be probably a little ways away. Forest health has to be a lot higher. We only have 8 forest health. We need to be up near, I believe it is... How much is it before we can do the ritual? Oh, the Oak of Ages also has to be flourishing. No, you need 500 health, and then it'll allow you to actually complete the Oak of Ages there. We'll get it right eventually. Cassian has moved just into the territory to do some raiding. He has moved through all of these other territories, though, so that should count as trespassing. Oh, interesting. They didn't actually get a trespass. How did you manage to sneak through here? Did you go all along the border? That is incredibly impressive. Cassian was a Sneak Master 100. Yeah, he did. He snuck all the way through. Or maybe that's Paravon's war rating. Okay, no, you have to click on Paravon to see how the other faction feels about them. Fair enough. Yeah, they've caused all sorts of issues. Cassian has basically signed his doom. If we moved on into attack, though, we wouldn't have the lads defending from the forest. He has a lot of men-at-arms. Swordsmen and macemen, which are kind of just your basic run-of-the-mill lads, but they've got pretty heavy armor and silver shields. So we want to make sure we have plenty of extra troops for that battle. And still try to get that ambush off. He may try to sneak around, but we'll deal with that if he tries it. Our first battle here is going to be with Orion. Get rid of the Broken Nose tribe right away here. We do have to worry about the Karakiran dwarves coming on over. I don't know that they are immediately going to want to declare war. Oh, they're going to join us. They joined us in battle. Well, welcome, dwarves. Let's cut down these greenskins. Alright, we may have our differences, but this day we fight as one. They won't be all that much help, but we can try to actually use them as a shield. So let's bring the greenskins on over. We can pretty easily crush them pretty fast, but we'll play a little bit differently. A little bit more squirrely here. So we'll see if we can get up into these trees with all of our elite Deepwood scouts here. Them in these trees here. as a bit of an ambush later on, or if they come on up to engage our main force, which we'll go ahead and bring in the Eternal Wardens. Deploy along this mountain here.
Defenders of Athelloren!
They are in the forest, so they get all of the extra buffs. You guys can possibly stay outside. I don't know if it is per entity usually that they determine the terrain that your units are in. They released a blog not too long ago that talked about elevation and how if you are higher than your enemy, even with missiles or melee, you'll do more damage across the board, so we do want to keep that in mind. Our Glade Guard also can hide in the forest like absolute champions and fire through. Know that there are some issues sometimes with them shooting through the forest, but the Wood Elves should be able to fire through unimpeded. Emphasis on should be. We'll just have Orion standing out front like an absolute Chad, and then his squire next to him. Let's throw the Wild Riders into the forest here to be an ambush force. Good deer cavalry. Alright, start getting guys in groups. We have our Eternal Guard to stop any kind of nonsense with the Chargers there. Bring the Defenders of Athelloren forward. And then the Axemen there we can use as a flanking force. Are there any kind of forests nearby to hide in? We may just have them over here as well. All of our flankers. They cannot deploy Vanguard, though. Just kidding. We'll grab the Spearmen. Set them up. And have the reserve forces back here. Let the Dawi rush forward. We can kind of keep these this giant square of lads in case we need them. Perfect. Excellent. And we will take a quick look at our new ROR unit and see what the differences are between them and the original. They're just a bit more turquoise. They are the Turquoise Guard. Okay, I mean they're going to be quite a good unit. They have I'm trying to see what the exact stat difference is. They've got just a higher stat pool across the board, though. It looks like they have less health, which is interesting. 1,200 less health. They will encourage nearby allies, though, and they are unbreakable. So, pretty good unit there. Just a little bit better than the normal Eternal Guard. This is the way. We'll start the battle off, and if you have asked for any kind of names to be added on in, I will do so once the armies reach a stack of 20 there, so I do know that we have at least one name, a suggestion for some of the Spearmen, the Eternal Guard without shields, and we can definitely get those in, but don't quite have a unit of 20 of them just yet, or at least another army of 20 yet, and so as soon as we do, we'll get that name sorted out now.
It will be done.
There's so few of these poor orcs here. The reinforcing army is quite a bit larger, though. That one's going to be the fun one. Let's just bring you guys over and start harassing these archers. Don't mind Orion being out in combat. All sorts of spells to keep him safe. You just charge on forward. We also have the Arrow of Kurnos to launch into the back line here. We can just leave them there. As soon as the reinforcements start coming in, we'll rotate from there. Let's bring the cavalry around. Get a nice ambush off. Charge right on into these arrow boys. If they want to stop moving, we can hit them with all sorts of nasty. Go for it, buddy. Now they turn and run. It's because Orion's closing that gap. Or you didn't put it a little ways behind him, because we knew they would have fled from Orion. Wild Riders keep on moving. Pull you guys back into the woods there. Take a bit of cover. Go ahead and charge in on the orc arrow boys behind, or the orc boys behind, and let the arrow boys do their thing. The poor spear boys are getting torn to shreds. Let's pull you over to this side here. Let's just drop in the prey of Anathema. There's the Night Goblin War Boss. And your target, subsequently. Get your charge bonus off. Let's go ahead and pull through the woods here. They move so fast. An incredible light cavalry here. Rode over that group of Lord Boar boys, or orc boys next. Smash into these orc arrow boys from there. You've got all the extra momentum. You keep ripping shots into that poor fool there. Let's bring the Wild Riders through. Let Orion kind of turn and engage. You guys start rotating over. We have a whole bunch of new friends to deal with as well. Go ahead and fire the other arrow of Kurnos at these archers here. We'll have one more for the main body forces coming in. Here come the Dawi. And we can come on over and take a look at them too. Look at the lads. Karakirn joins the battle. I'm pretty sure that's who you guys are. I don't really care or remember. Your lives are meaningless. Bring them through here. He's actually doing a pretty good job of dodging all of the spells. We'll drop down the Hounds of Orion, rip through the rest of these Orc boys pretty quickly. Pull away from the archers. We'll come back in to get another hit on them. Charge there. You guys do the same. You guys focus down at those archers, please. You keep firing on this lord here. Actually, let's go ahead and charge down the Night Gobbo. He can fire on the way in just fine. Ryan's taking a little bit of damage. Let's drop down some more spells. He's got a lot of melee attack, not much defense. He goes down pretty quickly. Pull him on away from that then. Most of those guys are pretty well injured. Up. Oh, the Night Gobbo disappeared. There he is. Go ahead and give him the stab. Actually, let's go ahead and drop his missile resistance. Can't move, and then hit him with some arrows. Everyone focus fire down. Cavalry, come on in and break these individual arrow boys there. And boar boys as well, or you call them boar boys. They are simply normal lads. A lot of damage. Looks like you're getting some friendly fire, and he shot his friend right in the back of the head. Alright, archers, let's go ahead and pull through. Karakirn joins the fray. We can go ahead and pull out of our own forest hideaway as well pretty quickly here. Cavalry's routing off the individual boys. Duh, boys. Where's the other lord? It is these spear boys led by Rathug. That's no problem. Oh, they start to get smacked. Night Gobbo doing some damage. Now flee on away and do some Parthian shot while you're running. Looks like that was a lot of friendly fire. You better run faster, dude. Didn't expect you to lose that fight as badly as you did. You pull the archers away and into the fray. We'll send the two flanking units around. Looks like the other archers have actually made it into the fray, so we pull on them back into the woods. Orion, you two. No reason to take free shots. Move up and eliminate these air boys. Orion kind of go around these work boys here. We'll charge into one of the other groups of air boys. Kind of weave around them. He is very tired now. Looks like a lot of archers all standing together. Enjoy. Now we charge back there and break them. Pull back. Push these guys forward. You guys go ahead and charge into the fray. Break them. Fire on the back line. You guys fire on the front line, and that should finish things off pretty quickly. And then from there, attack. Knights keep charging. You get on to the next group there. Keep out of your missile mode, though. I kind of want to throw in some hunters there. The wolves unleashed. Get all wood elves and Dawi working together. Common enemy. All these wolves discriminate against nothing. They kill all. Alright, Ryan, come on over here into the fray. Took a lot of damage, our Glade Lord here. Go ahead and ride down the rest of these archers, and then we can allow our infantrymen to surround and destroy what's left. If anyone does want to stay. It's not appear so, though. Yeah. Give him another poke. Yeah, there's the victory. We figured they wouldn't want to fight for long. Let's make sure that not a single night boss survives this battle here, and I will catch you all in a moment. A marvelous victory and an alliance between Elf and Dwarf. Alright, a nice win. Thank you, Largs. Your cooperation and your people's cooperation is noted. Drakiran is a little bit less on the hit list of Orion now. I think we will go ahead and build captives. Just gives us a bit more experience. We will go ahead and abduct these captives for a bit more magic and army replenishment. And then we move on the city itself. Another forest spirit gained for winning a battle. That's a lot of enemy leadership being dropped. Ragash Muckraka has been slain. We can move up and Drograt Tifraba. Yeah, it's only 4 of them. We'll give that to the auto resolve. Orion is 14 of my own fell. That's disappointing. Well, we killed the captains this time. And then it makes us tell them we're going to raise the settlement. Okay, well, we raise it for a cool 7,000. Sweet. Destroyed. Wrath of Lauren. Brad Spy, in the forest, there is no finer spy than a tree. Win a battle. Such is the way, then.
I will grant your request.
Okay, so for some more skills for Lauren, we have the Orion reload time reduction for the entire army. Does sound pretty awesome. We were moved down here. We moved all the way through the blue line pretty quickly. Yeah, no, I think we do grab some of these nice passive skills. Extra speed for all Elven units, yes. And then extra reload time reduction, also yes.
I thirst for the hunt.
Dolden, what are we going to give you? A bit more speed. Go ahead and max that on out. Could be zooming around a little bit faster there. Way less likely to be caught by a Night Gabo war boss in a foot race now. That was a bit pathetic there, buddy. We can jump into the world routes and come on back into Lauren, which I think we will. So let's go ahead and jump into said world routes. It takes us, I think it's 10 turns in between every teleport. Let's see if it allows us to. So we select Orion within another forest. Okay, so he has to be in a forest in order to use the world routes. Oh, I clicked on the Largs. That's not correct. Okay, so now can we travel to the Oak of Ages? No. Huh. Level forces are marked in a tree icon in the Lords and Heroes list. Okay, fair enough. He's not eligible. We will spend a good 10,000 though to upgrade our Oak of Ages from Dormant to Withered. The Oak's fate dictates not only the forest's well-being, but that of the Elven race also. So this will give us a little bit more forest health per turn, more control faction-wide, more growth in all provinces, more corruption ablation there. Winds and Magic Power Reserve extra, and then the Confederation missions with Paravon and Widrioth, as well as giving us a bit extra in garrison. This will also kind of convince this army of Paravon to move in and attack. Not that they weren't already going to, but we'll find out, won't we? Over the King's Glade, since we have a little bit of extra gold left, we'll go ahead and upgrade the Arbiter's Perch here. It'll allow us to get a bit of upkeep reduction and more ammunition anytime we get a siege going on. As far as deals with the nearby, Queen of Tides, you're going to be cut down for being a nightmare on the seas. Your nasty vampiric corruption shall have no approach here. Okay, let's see who our allies are at war with. So back into diplomacy real quick.
What do you need?
No wars for Widrioth, Torgovan, or Arguilan right now. So we wait. Whenever they start declaring more wars, we will immediately jump in with them, giving us a nice hefty little bump to our upkeep production. Alright, they failed to spot our ambush. It worked out. Auto-resolve would say it's going to be a close victory with medium casualties, but of course we must fight it. Paravon and Cassian needs to be tested in battle here. He is, of course, going to be one of their more deadly units. We have several Glade Lords and such that have a bonus versus large weapon strength, so as long as we have multiple of them jumping in at the same time, his is only on his missiles. We'll have to keep that in mind. Should be able to bring him down pretty quickly. We've got some mounted yeomen, which will give them a little bit of cavalry. We have plenty of our own, so as long as we catch them out and running around, we should be able to beat them down, no problem. These ones have 95 speed. We have 95 as well, so we should be able to catch them on the charge, but we'll have to try to lure them in first. All right, then. Take a quick look at the ambush. We'll start things off. Any day now. Alright then. So we've got nice little bits of forest to jump on out of and give them a terrible time. Let the slaughter commence. Alright, so we actually are being betrayed by the reinforcement time here. So it's going to take 2 minutes for them to show up, and they're going to deploy all the way on the other side of the map, so we won't even be able to use them in battle. So if we move them all the way around, that's going to take it from 2 minutes to 5 minutes and 26 seconds, which that's going to be a long time to hold out. I think we can do so. But if we deploy over here, they'll just run. They won't try to fight us at all. Alright, we've got to be very, very aggressive with this ambush then. We want to make sure that most of our forces are on the same side, but are also able to fire up and over the tops of our lads. So our Eternal Guard in here. We'll use this bit of terrain as a wall. Fight inside the forest if we can help it.
Eager and ready.
Spread out as wide as we can. Our infantry should be... We'll check the stats, but we should have higher overall combat stats by a very small margin. Alright, those Bretonnian macemen and swordsmen are not bad. Not at all. They have a lot more armor, too. We do have armor piercing as well, though, so we should be able to kind of jab through their armor better than they're expecting. Corner up. We get a faster reinforcement time anywhere else. 5:15. 5:06. Just way too slow. 5 minutes is going to be really long into the battle, though. 5:30 there. 5:33. If we can get it a bit shorter, which is right over here. 5 minutes 16. This is where lots of our actual power is coming from, so hopefully they can show up pretty quickly. Let's get the War Dancers. We'll double stack them on the top here. They're very fast, so we can kind of move them around either side if we need to, and they do have the Shadow's Coil ability, so once they do charge into melee, you can switch them over to defense mode, and they can be a bit more tanky instead of all about blending through enemy infantry lines. Deepwood Archers. That 200 range is just so incredible. They're almost artillery. English longbow taken up a millionfold to its mythical standard. Alright, we'll have Glade Guard or Glade Captain holding one flank here because he might try to charge all the way around, and then the other lad up front. I don't mind luring him into the Eternal Guard there. They should be able to poke away at his armor pretty quickly. This is not going to be an easy fight to start. We've got 5 minutes to survive. This is a long time. No extra skills to be used, but that's going to be fine. We'll go ahead and start this battle off. You immediately start things by firing on this lord here. Bring Cassian down at all costs. You guys fire this first group of basemen. Okay, as he gets a little bit closer, we will pull behind our archer line, our line of spears there. He's going to charge straight into them. Athelloran Eternal. Nope, he pulls off. You keep firing on him then. Alright, we want the War Dancers coming around the other side here. Looks like they might be trying to flank, or maybe they're just fully trying to escape. I can't tell on that one. The Lord here would really like to get into a fight with ours, but he just can't quite. He's charging in again and again. Oh, it's not gonna work, lad. What might work is a massive charge of yeomen. Oh yes, right into our spears. Yeah, just final samurai your way in there, buddies. Just slow-mo so we can see some of the fighting. There's a huge army coming in now. Several yeomen dehorsed already. Oh, why do they keep stabbing with the butt of the spear there? I'm sure there's a point there, but that's not quite the intention of that design there. Absolute horde of multicolored Bretonnians. We've got a lot cut out for us here. Several of them looking to try to flank around the outside of our small little advantage in the height there. We are not afeared. Ooh, we are scared of those guys, though. You're gonna have to chase down those yeomen. Oh, they're mounted? Okay, come back behind the line. We'll have the U2 archers. Focus fire at their yeomen on foot. If you guys can fire it on them. Switch targets to this guy. A little bit difficult to give orders to lads that are inside the forest, but we'll do our best. You charge into these macemen here. Get some damage, and then we'll pull back.
I will comply. Ever ready.
Guard mode. How much longer do we have to wait? 3 whole minutes. Oh, sad day. You guys turn and fire. Eliminate those yeomen as fast as you can. You do the same there, Glade Captain. Stand here and take some shots at them. We need to get rid of all of their extra archers. Anything they have for range advantage, we need to eliminate. Line suffering there. We'll start rolling them around. So let's get these ladies moving. Horsemen should be about to flee. We'll get them to flank the entire line. We should be able to roll the line down.
To arms! Blade guard!
Keep tearing apart those mounted yeoman archers. You guys should go ahead and turn. We're gonna have to give you the target on these guys here.
Blade guard!
You switch targets.
Great hunt!
Keep firing on their lord there. How many more minutes we gotta wait? 2 more minutes. Alright, let's start rolling their line of infantry then. The charge of the lovely war dancers. Be a nasty flank. Armor piercing on both sides. Keep firing on Cassian there.
Eager and ready. Blade guard! Targets!
You're confused. Your target should be pretty much anyone that is still living.
For the eternal realm! Swiftly!
Try to fire on these Bretonnian swordsmen there.
Blade guard!
Gotta pick your targets. We'll bring these Glade Guard back a bit.
It shall be done!
They're a little bit too close to that front line. War Dancers are slicing through this line. This does make me want to play Bretonnia, though. I love these Macemen. They remind me a lot of... it's a lot more feudal than the current guys are with the great sword men-at-arms. And just only having 1 tier men-at-arms. There was lots of variants in medieval armies. We're getting a bit overwhelmed now. Yeah, let's switch them over into melee defense mode. Forest wills it.
Blade Captain!
Blade Captain, you go ahead and charge down this lord here. You go ahead and pull away.
Are you away?
You away.
Blade guard! Shoot!
Cannot wait till we get some Glade Guard with some actual poison arrows and such. Switched over into the Shadow's Coil. They'll be much harder to remove from this spot. Oh yeah, our Glade Captain went in there and clapped Cassian. That was a quick smash. Easy duel. Bretonnians fight is won. His fight slain. Go ahead and make sure he doesn't come back. Don't need him charging to our line at all.
Release!
How many minutes before? Man, that is unfortunate how long that took. Rolling these guys down the line. Start pulling some of our archers out on the flank. Proper flank in.
We are tireless.
That'll do. And now the boys show up. Perfect. Alright, Dryads, let's go ahead and just have you set up for branch wraiths, or branch nymphs. Interesting. Like an upgraded tier. Put the cavalry around either side. Into the trees just down the middle to break them. Did a very good job of holding in, though, while we needed them to. Awesome, awesome work, everyone.
Weapons loose! Weapons loose!
Lots of the enemy are going to start breaking now. We got some pretty neat looking mock shields. Didn't really protect them much from the magical blades of Athaloran, though. Nah, stab these guys. They're the ones trying to attack you. Are they done? Looks like many of the Bretonnians are going to turn and flee. Are they trying to get away from getting flanked? Oh, there's no escape now. It's only the void. Charge of the multicolored branch nips. Look at all those colors. A rainbow-colored army. What of absolute horror and death. Yeah, we got him, though. Cassian made his last foray into the forest. Alright, we'll catch you all in a moment. And we got a bit of a visual distortion there, but a marvelous victory. Paravon crushed. We can now work towards rolling now and smashing down the castle of Paravon itself. Didn't take too many casualties at all. We gained a lot of captives there, so we can go ahead and release them. Or fully replenish. We'll go ahead and release them. It's 1,000 gold. What they means is releasing their spirits to the wild, but don't worry about any of that. Get another Dryad spy. We probably could have slotted in the...
At your service.
I don't remember the exact title of it, but the ancillary that drops the leadership forest spirit. Definitely want to make sure we have as many of these as we can. Oh, hello there. Have no more magical items to use. We'll definitely want to buff up some skills to actually gain some of those. Our Glade Captains perform very well in combat, though. 3 level up, so it should be 4 skill points.
The forest has spoken.
Cool. Okay, Ikarin, what do we want to get for you? Growth of the forest for extra growth and control, since you are going to be defending the home. Sounds good. The Dance of Loek gives us extra melee defense. I think we're going to always want to grab the Eye of Kurnos for extra missile damage, even on ones that we're not really focusing fully on missiles. Melee attack and melee defense are never going to be as good as just pure damage. 15% all the way up to... yeah, 15, as I said. Into 15%. So we will grab the Eye of Kurnos and then Sight Beyond Sight. It doesn't lock them. Oh, Glade Lords, you're much better than you used to be. I'm pretty sure that's supposed to lock those.
Times.
These are dark times. Indeed. We won that battle, so we'll go for the increased mobility, the boost income. Let's grab the Dance of Loek on you, as well as the Possessed by the Trickster God, so all of these soldiers around her will fight quite a bit more stoutly. So what's the difference? Dance of Loek's like 6 to 8 melee defense. Yeah, 6. Sounds good. There is one skill that I was about to say, I think they specialize and it locks them, but it doesn't at all. You get to have all of these. And not using a mount. Deployment for Wildwood Rangers. Those are all amazing skills, and I could have sworn these locked, but the fact that they don't means we can grab all of them and we don't have to worry about choosing. Alright, Ikarin. There are no... well, Chantal, a Dragon Drame. We need to make sure we won't be doing any trespassing to deal with this forest encounter, though.
Proud son of Athel Lauren.
You need to resolve that. So we're going to have Orion do such. Oh, beastmen.
Of the deep wood.
Oh, Beastmore with Ungor Poison Hunters. Well, some Bestigor Spears, some Goreherd, and then some Goreherd with Halberds. So not a weak unit of Beastmen by any means here. I think it's our duty to make sure we deal with this, because I don't think the Empire can. How many turns before this happens? Resolving the threat. Yeah, but how many turns before the threat happens? Is there a quest somewhere? That's not helpful. I need to know how long it's going to be before this that kicks on off. Let's make sure that Ikarin then grabs some more soldiers. So not here, obviously, because we can't do any recruitment. We'll drop down into the Kingsglade here. Just barely, so we can move up higher.
Going forth.
Perfect. And then we will grab some spears. The War Dancer Azrite spears. 2 of them, and then love maybe some normal swordsmen. These guys are going to have some armor piercing. 2 normal swordsmen, and then we'll just kind of add this Glade Captain into his army for now.
Glade Captain present. The hunt shall be tireless.
The Dual Captain and Glade Lord combo, it should be pretty dangerous. About Orion.
To serve Ariel.
We aren't currently at war with the Blood Axe tribe. But you guys?
Interesting. The Bright Order are seeking targets for their initiates to practice on. And here you are.
Are you sure you wanna talk some smack to Orion like that, Balthazar? Be lucky I don't annihilate you where you stand.
The Queen of
Yes?
Let us to make any deals, and we'll just come out and smash these beasts of our own accord then. The woods, the men of the woods would absolutely do everything they can to kill beastmen at every opportunity, so here we are. I eat your still beating heart. Bring it. Try it, I dare you. Oh look, beasts, auto-resolve would get you crushed. We should not be using the auto-resolve though, we're gonna fight this one ourselves. Another battle for Athelloren. A very small forest to be battling in though, so we will have to keep that in mind. Even though we're dead in the middle of the forest, this is gonna be one where not as many trees. Alright, so we do have some in the front here. We're probably gonna just want to charge as fast as we can into this copse of trees. We get lots of extra buffs from fighting in said trees. I also want to make sure our wildwood or deepwood scouts are actually able to fire in on important targets like these minotaurs. They'll tear them apart pretty quickly. Let's get them up here. We'll have the Waystalker up front. He has his prey of Athelrema. Lets him completely stop these guys cold. It may work. It may go very horribly for them. We'll find out. Our Eternal Wardens, or Spearmen. Then these two. They're going to take stock of what we have access to here. Only one of our Spearmen is going to have the bonus V large, or that's going to be the one with the shields. Every other one has just got pretty high attack. So we'll do with you guys. Can't deploy up here? That seems unfortunate. We'll keep them off on one flank, and we'll break one of the groups of cavalry. Gonna focus fire them down on one. We'll have the bonus V large one hitting first, and the other two can go around. I like it. Alright, these guys in the center. So we're gonna charge right into the forest as fast as we can here. You Eternal Wardens I actually will also have in the center. A little bit extra powerful melee front line. And then our Eternal Guard can defend the sides quite a bit better there. Orion can be in the woods. We want him charging through and trying to get into a melee fight with the Cygor. We would bring it down pretty quickly. We do have the Charmed Shield for some missile parry and 20% resistance. Cygor is going to be the most dangerous unit they have besides the Minotaurs. Two Spearmen can hang there. These guys on the other side will have to layer them a bit differently to start. Since the Beastmen move so fast, I think we will want to have them layered either way. So one unit up front, ROR ones that are unbreakable. The other guard behind them. Blade Guard archers.
Deepwood infantry. Dauntless Azray. Bows of Athelloren.
200 range is pretty incredible. Is going to be very useful for us here. Because we can layer them up a bit differently than we normally could with our archers. Okay then. This could go very poorly. Even though the auto results is going to go without a hitch, Cygor can do some very sizable damage out of nowhere. We'll bring Orion out. You guys all come forward to fire on these Minotaurs here. That will let them be noticed by the other units as well, so we want to keep an eye on it. As long as we're staying in the woods here, we should be good to go. We know you can fire from much further away, but let's push you up. That way no one else gets damaged by the Minotaurs if they get charged on in. Who's the Cygor throwing rocks at? No one yet? Orion, chuck a glaive at these guys then. Go ahead and slow them down. You two move forward. Cygor still hasn't started to pick targets yet, so we will move up. Try to chop on this Brave Shaman then. You know, you got Spearmen hiding there, but we'll just go right through this line. And go give the Brave Shaman a hug. Going for the missile resistance. Oh no, that's what's going down on the other group there. Are you going to defend your hero? Go for it. Pull the boy away. All of the main body soldiers pushing forward. Cavalry, let's go ahead and break this side here. I'm really not thrilled that they didn't manage to bring them down. You go ahead and have to. You're gonna get in a fight there. Words, English. Figure it out. Make sure these Cygor don't move through, or these Centaur don't move through.
Orion! Swiftly!
What we feared the most is what happened there. Trying to send the Centaur around. You go ahead and stop them from moving through. Blade Guard move in. Really nice hit from the Cygor there. Make sure we eliminate these groups of poison hunters there. Yep, Orion's getting smashed by the Minotaurs. Looks like this one would have been better in the auto-resolve. Let's pull them on away. Gotta break away from the group there. Luckily, the Centaurs are not trading great against our Wild Riders. Get in there, Orion. Extra damage resist. There goes our Waystalker there. Hopefully he isn't slain. You guys just need to keep charging away. Run away from those Centaur. You keep firing on them from behind as you run. It's a chop. Let's pull away so you don't get hit with a rock. Come on there, Orion. And back in. Keep running. Our Waystalker's going to take a lot of damage, but I think he'll be fine in the long run. We can drop down some of the extra arrows on you lads there. We can get extra missile fire in where we can. Orion, pull on away. Drop the wolves in. You guys keep fleeing. Even if the Centaur make it into the fight, they shouldn't be able to do much damage. Can you fire at the guys that are actually chasing you? That'd be great. I'll back in and hurt this Cygor here, the Centaur. Are the cavalry fight on the side? One was won quite well by our lads. Dodge the hit. Charge back in. Waystalker's back as well, so we'll just kind of move him across the map, make sure he stays well away from any kind of fighting. Keep fighting those poor guys around. Should eliminate the archers pretty quickly there. Orion, don't stay into a fight with the Cygor for too long. I do not need you to get any return hits. Why are you all the way up into melee? We doing that. Get hit with a rock there, Orion. That also would hurt. Get yourself the Tart Charm shield so that doesn't happen. Block a lot of those missiles. Charge in. I'd love to hear it. Brought down the Cygor pretty quickly. Sweet. Can launch the missiles of Kurnos at these spearmen there. There we go. Chop down the Cygor. Alright, you guys need to keep retreating. I thought they could actually handle that unit a little bit better than they did. Need to get Orion moving still. It is not over for him yet. Those guys have faded on out of existence. Drop down the arrows here. And our Waystalker flees. I'm sure he doesn't know why he flees, but he flees all the same. Break them.
Our aim is true. End them.
Finish off that Lord there. Almost got fed some humble pie by the beastmen, but we managed to pull it off. I think auto-resolve is also being very, very nice to us. Pull the Eternal Guard back so they don't get hunted down on accident by any of the hounds, and we'll just kind of chase as many of these fools down as we can. Alright, a nice victory there. He did turn and run near the end, so I'm very glad our Waystalker managed to survive. Both of our heroes are very, very low. We're going to definitely want to do some replenishing, so we're going to go ahead and instead of releasing these captives, abduct them. They do manage to escape. We'll be doing some trespassing on the Golden Order, but I don't care about that at all. We came in to slay who we wanted to. In a bow of Lauren, made with a single pristine hair of Queen Ariel. Bow of Lauren is a weapon without fear. The bombardment spell that Orion gets, some reload time reduction, and magical attacks. That was very good.
I thirst for
Let's finish off this fool here. Gonna pass out the skill points. Oh, we have to fight this one as well. Such is the way. Let's get him. Alright. So Operation just gonna march in a straight line is a go. We'll grab Orion and our Waystalker and make sure they don't get taken out on accident there. Those guys on the flank have a better archer formation than we currently have. We've got almost nothing in terms of archers, so we are not so concerned. Right, the lads. And we start the battle. And now we will just grab everyone except for Orion, as previously said, and just kind of slowly walk them toward the enemy there.
Hiding in wait.
You stay here. We'll speed it up, that way they do walk quickly over towards the enemy. We'll have the cavalry just kind of go around. We'll find the enemy archers at some point. Usually they appear from thin air, like proper beastmen. Watch, they stuck a unit around somehow to take them both out. I wouldn't be surprised. Let's say you, beastmen. Where are you hiding? All we can see for sure are the Bestigor spears, which are actually pretty cool. It would be very good to actually get some beastmen variants for the others besides just Bestigors with great axes. I feel like they would come in very many flavors and variants, as a normal army would. Get on around behind them. As soon as they start showing themselves, they'll get scattered with arrows. There's the first volley. None fall, but a lot of damage in. And then the rest start flying. There they are. Grab the frontier and charge. They're just getting scythed down by arrows. Cut down those poison hunters, and we can just watch this carnage from here. And the beastmen flee from their natural predators, the wood elves. The fear is palpable. Wood elves they're moving quick. Although when you give them the all-attack forward order, they do act a little derpy and sometimes don't even attack. They just kind of walk at people very threateningly. Alright, you guys go ahead and halt. We win the battle. Alright, we got out of that without a single loss, but which is what we definitely should have been doing to start. We'll go ahead and abduct these captives as well, replenish up a little bit more. They all fall. And Icarid is leveling up, and he's not even over here. Look at that. Ooh, the Wild Hunt has begun anew. Would have been great to tell me that before, and we also finished our research, so for those that crave the destruction of their enemies, Elenil is always happy to help. We get even more forest health for winning battles in magical forests or their hearthlands, and we get more income from raising settlements. And now it's time for the Wild Hunt to begin. King of the Woods, Master of the Wild Hunt, is reborn anew. Now he is even stronger, has more melee attack and charge bonus. Awesome.
Lord of the Forest.
Such is the way. 2 more skill points to pass out. I think we will grab the Howl of the Forest. I'll make sure I know what it does first. Extra melee attack. For Sight Beyond Sight, I don't think you can double layer this ability here, so we're going to keep it off for now. Just go for the Tempered Rigor. Give him a additional 6 to his melee attack and defense that we already had there, because we already had 6 up to 12. And we'll grab Deadly Onslaught, make sure he is winning all of his fights.
The Hunter.
Dodon. Trading sounds good, and then a single other point into... You did run out of ammunition. You are starting to run out of ammunition more often. He fires those shots pretty quickly there. Let's grab Sword Player for more melee attack charge bonus and armor piercing weapon damage whenever he does run out of ammo. Wanted to make sure he's not a noodle-armed weakling in Orion's army.
Master of the wild hunt.
Okay, Orion, can you do anything other than to go into a masterful ambush stance? That's a bit unfortunate. Would have liked to do some replenishing. Well, if Balthazar doesn't like us over here, he can do something about it.
The Empire.
Bring it, buddy. Your Imperial soldiers will be all nice and hasty sacrifices to Kurnos. With those victories over the beastmen and the greenskin horde, I am out of time for today. I have been Space Wizard of War. I believe a light for the light god and a sub for the sub zone, and I will see you on the next one.